Alright, guys. Here it is. Let's review the new Netflix TV series, Maniac. Alright. It's your boy, Night Phase. Yeah, so we're going to do non-spoiler first. Give you my overall thoughts real quick. I thought this show was flat out fantastic. If you have Netflix, you owe it to yourself to watch this show. Like, immediately stop what you're doing. It's only 10 episodes, and it will breeze by quick. Trust me on this. It's directed by Cary Fukunaga. All 10 episodes are, and if you don't know who he is, he directed all 8 episodes of True Detective Season 1. That's right, with the McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. Alright. And you know how masterful that first season was. It's a masterpiece. I loved True Detective Season 1. It's one of the best seasons of television you can watch. Seriously. So, and it's just been announced that Cary Fukunaga will be the director of the new James Bond movie coming out next year. So, hell yes. And seeing this show, I am so excited, more so because of that. But give you a quick, briefing of what the plot is. Basically, the premise of this show is you got two strangers, Annie Landsberg and Owen Milgram, and they all have their own, psychological issues. One's dealing with schizophrenia. He's a paranoid schizophrenic. That's Jonah Hill's character. I guess Annie's is more like just trauma, maybe she's a little bipolar. Maybe she has a little built-up anger issues, but it's mainly trauma because of her past. And they undergo this pharmaceutical trial in this company where, and they have that in real life. They just pay you, to go undergo some risky testing, and they're testing out this new drug that will supposedly heal any mental health. And that's the gist of the story as you go along, and it just becomes this trippy, weird, just unique, just visual storytelling. Oh my god, it's quite the journey. You owe it to yourself to watch this. One of the best Netflix shows I've ever seen, and you can tell Cary Fukunaga put his heart and soul into this series, and these two characters are so well written and so well developed. Emma Stone in particular, I felt gave the best performance in the whole show. Jonah Hill was quite good too. His performance was more subtle, and it kind of needs to be because he's a schizophrenic. He's paranoid. He feels like he sees things and that are not quite there. So he's more reserved, and Emma Stone is the more showy of the performance. And oh my god, I loved her in this so much. And you got a great supporting cast. You got Sally Field. You got Gabriel Brin, you got Justin Theroux, who was quite a character here. He made me laugh at a couple of parts. Yeah, this show, flat out fantastic. I enjoyed every bit of it. Oh my god, it's so damn good. It's so unique. Like, we're going to dive into spoilers, and I'm just going to get into why I love the show. But flat out, I got to give this show a 9 out of 10. Definitely go watch it. It's worth your time. It's only 10 episodes. Like I said, it's a limited series. And yeah, definitely see it. It's one of the best of the year. And I can't stop thinking about it. Ever since I watched it, cannot stop thinking about this show. And that's good when a show can, do an impact on you like that, where you just constantly think about what you saw, the episodes. And most of these episodes really stand out, And there's barely a dull moment. It does take quite a while. Not a while, but maybe the first 2 episodes to really kick into gear. But once it does, it's flat out fantastic. Anyway. Alright. Let's dive into spoilers here. Spoilers. So, let's start with Jonah Hill's character. In the first episode, called The Chosen One, Owen Milgram, he's being persuaded by his father to testify in court for his douchey brother. He was a douchebag. And I've seen that actor before. Let me see if I can look up his name. I got my phone right here, so I'm just going to be looking down, looking at the camera. here. Sorry about that. I believe his brother. Where is he? Yeah, Billy Magnuson. Anyway, I remember first seeing this actor in that one movie with Audrey Plaza. Uh, God, I forgot the name of that movie as well. It was pretty good. Going West. Ingrid Goes West. That's the movie. And he played a douchey character there. He just he does a fantastic job of doing that. So kudos to that actor. So yeah, he has to testify in court because he did some sexual misconduct, just predatory, just nasty shit in his workplace to one of his employees. I believe it was some woman, and his brother's being tried on court because of that. And I guess they're trying to coax poor old Jonah Hill here to be a witness, to vouch for his douchey brother, even though he doesn't like him all too much. And you clearly see why in this episode, The Chosen One, where he goes to like this party and they're just like these wealthy, yuppie, uppity ups, they got all the money in the world and they like to show it. And he's in the dinner and he feels uncomfortable and his brother's telling an embarrassing story about him, just complete douchebag. So, he's in a place where he doesn't want to be. His family just kind of sees him almost like a liability, kind of like an embarrassment. Or sometimes they just feel like he's just painted on the wall, like he has no, relevancy. It doesn't matter. What matters to them is mainly his testimony, and which is sad, it's just. But you kind of feel for him. You definitely kind of feel for him, especially going back seeing this episode. I felt for Jonah Hill's character, and so before that, he goes under that pharmaceutical trial that this company is offering. I wish I could look up the name of the company. Let's see here. I don't know the name of the company, but anyway, it's very like a retro '80s kind of like branded company name, which is so cool. I like how that looks, and the technology that they mixed in here with the real world. Like they had the sanitation bot that you see scooping up shit on the sidewalk. What the heck? You see that? You see a purple koala playing chess. I kid you not. Oh, there it is. NPB. That's the name of the company. NPB. So, which was, I guess, forerun by Dr. James Mantley or whatever, Mantle sorry, played by Justin Thorox, and you don't get introduced to his character, I think, until was it the fourth episode, I believe, or the third? No, the third. Yeah. So you get a little bit of backstory with Jonah Hill's character as the episodes move along. You get introduced to his character in the first episode, and then Emma Stone, who plays Annie Landsberg, and I was gravitated to her character the most because she has a lot of repressed issues. Sorry, you don't know why, but there's something there behind her eyes. A lot of anger, and you find out later on it's because of her sister. She was involved in a car accident, and she just you can never get over that trauma. She feels guilty because of that, because they went on a trip. She used to be like a goofball and give her sister a hard time, and never take the picture. Never take a picture of her. She will take a picture of her armpit. And some trucker who was, I guess, like driving all night on some type of drug, they swiped them. They swiped the truck. They went off the cliff, and that second episode is where I feel like this show really kicked into gear for me, and I was just like, wow, the way that was shot, man, my heart dropped when that car got closer to the truck, and the way Emma Stone flew out of the car, and just that shot panning down of their Jeep, like down there off the cliff in the rocks, and wow, it just very traumatic experience. I mean, if anybody had to experience that, So she goes to that trial too at first because she's kind of a junkie and she's abusing the A drug, because there's an A and B C drug that they explain a step process as for the so-called healing of this pharmaceutical experimental drug. And then when all these subjects, they get chosen, they have to go. I like the baseline test where the lady's asking these questions, and then the last question is like, okay, look at me, pay attention to this last question, okay? I need your full attention. Are you ready? And she just stares at them. And then they're just like, did I pass the test? And she's like, your defense mechanisms are really good. So there are moments like that that are just so, they're awkward. They're kind of like eerie, like surreal. You're just like, what the hell? But it works. It works. The script is so good here. And there's a lot of funny, dark comedic moments. Before we get to Justin Therouk's character, like I said, we were dealing with the other guy who was like his colleague. What is his name? He's a Japanese actor. Let's see if I can look up his name. Maybe it was Robert? Yeah. Robert Muramoto. And I really enjoyed this guy. I wish he stuck around more. He dies in episode 3. And the way he does it is just like, it's darkly comedic. He just like, his head is on the thing. Because he was freebasing. He was abusing the shit out of that drug. Like a meth head, basically. Smoking that shit. And there was a funny moment where he's talking to Jonah Hill. He knows he didn't take the A pill. So he's like, he takes the pill, he slices it across the table, and he's like, take it now. And Jonah Hill's like, no. He's like, you take the drug. What is it? I love that. He just goes off on him in Japanese for a minute. I could not stop laughing. So kudos to the actor, Rome Kanada? Kanda? I'm sorry if I butchered his name, but that guy was great. I wish he didn't have to go so early, because I really started enjoying his performance. Yeah. And like I said, it's really darkly funny. Like, there's a scene where Jonah Hill is having that same scene where he's talking to him. He's asking him what did he see when they go underneath that machine. They take the drug. What did he hallucinate in that dream state? They go in these like dream sequences and stuff. And like a spiritual journey kind of thing. It's so trippy. And he said this is what he saw, and which was mainly a flashback. He was describing a flashback where he was again at his yuppity family's party or whatever, and he was depressed, and he said fuck it, and he just wanted to kill himself. He jumped off the building, but I mean, like, a suicide is not supposed to be funny, but the way they did it, where Jonah Hill lands on the glass, like there's like this opening glass right there in the ceiling, you can clearly see, and he hits that, and his face is just pressed up against the glass, like, and his mom just screams, ah! I could not stop laughing. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's brilliant writing when they're dark material like that is, they're managed to pull it off where it can be funny. But you still feel for the guy. And episode 4, this is where I absolutely love episode 4. It just goes completely whole direction, because we're in one of these dreamlike sequences. Let's see where it is. First by Sebastian. This was a flat out great episode. We're like sucked into the 80s era or something like that, where Jonah Hill is sporting the most over-the-top mullet ever. It's so funny. And then, like, Emma Stone's playing this sassy, she, I don't know, she reminds me of, Scarlett Johansson's character from Don John. Have you ever seen that movie? Kind of like that. And the whole movie revolves around stealing back this lemur, because she was like a caretaker to this old lady. And she left behind a lemur. She wanted to give it to her estranged daughter. And it is so damn funny. It's so damn good. I love that episode. First by Sebastian. Oh my god. It just and they go through all this shit. And I love the store owner of the fur coats. The actor, I mean. Let's see if I can look. What is that actor's name? He's so good. what is his name? I think it's Leo Fitzpatrick. Yes, Lance? I think that was his name. But he was in True Detective season 1. He played the killer. He was a lawnmower man, as we all know. He did a good job. He has a great line where he's like, he has 2 submachine guns. He has 2 Uzis. He's about to get in a shootout with the Wildlife Police Department. You heard me. Wildlife Police. And it supposedly is a real police department. It's so funny. He's like, I'm a fucking grizzly bear. Ah! So I love that part. I cannot stop laughing. Pure comedic gold. And then when like one of them gets completely shot up, he's just like taking all the bullets. And the way the squibs are going off on him is so funny. It's just darkly hilarious. And Emma Stone, Jonah Hill, in that episode in particular had great chemistry. You know, you really bought into that they were like this quirky married couple, and he would do anything, you know, just to appease his wife, and it was great, you know. And then like how Wildlife Police caught him at the end with the lemur, and then reality sets in. And I like the episode after that. They try to explain how that story was symbolic to the issues they were dealing with, like especially when Justin Theroux, he comes on the scene to take over after the other doctor dies, and the way I guess his love interest, what is her name, Azumi Fujita, she's a scientist there, and yeah, she comes to him, and the way she finds him, where he has this like this fucking I guess it's like this fucking flashlight on his dick. It's like futuristic flashlight on his dick. I'm telling you guys, it's fucking weird, but it's so funny. And he has like 2 sponges, and he's picturing that he's fucking the hell out of this like animation model. So he's just like, I could not stop laughing. This show had some ridiculous, funny ass moments. I'm telling you. Oh man, so that was funny. I was awkward too. The way she just found him like just nude, that fucking thing on his dick. Yeah. Anyway, she brings him in because he is the founder of the company, and I, you know, explain a little bit of backstory that he got thrown out or something. He lost his shit or something. Then his mother gets introduced, Sally Field, which was great. He has a strained relationship with her, and I love her introduction. She's like this famous author. He cannot stand her. And Gerda, we get introduced to the supercomputer that, you know, runs the entire experimental process. Because not only you have to take that drug, but the supercomputer, whatever, puts you in these dreamlike states and does something to your mind. I guess it reprograms it somehow. Or maybe it eliminates portions of mental illness. I don't know. But they just try their best to explain it. But you just kind of have to just go with it. So Gerda is that supercomputer. And it has the personality of Sally Field, of Greta Manta Ray, Justin Theroux's character's mother. And I thought she was great. Yeah, so as the episodes progress, I think episode 5 is where it goes into like this James Bond kind of national treasure in the sense, like, you know, like a heist kind of film where Jonah Hill, he goes to this like Eyes Wide Shut kind of party. It's a weird party for these rich eccentric people, and Emma Stone is just looking glamorous there, and they're trying to steal this little scroll. So I mean, that was interesting, but I really enjoyed episode 4 more. I love that dreamlike sequence. That, you know, it's just so visionary, so like what? And I love how this show plays up with the genres, you know. So you get like a little heist film here, you get like a Lord of the Rings kind of film, like, we'll get to that. We get like a gangster kind of like setting. It's crazy. This show, you know, people could be like, oh yeah, it goes all over the place, but it's intended to be because, you know, because of what they set up with that machine. So it's great. It works. So between, I think it's episode 7 and 8. The Lake of the Clouds is episode 8. But between 7 and 8 is where we get to those 2 awesome dream sequences, these fantasies, where Emma Stone is with her sister, and they're like these white elves, and it's like they're in a New Zealand background like setting, and it's so reminiscent of Lord of the Rings. I just love the way that was shot. It was amazing. I loved it. That was probably my favorite part of the entire series. She's trying to get her somewhere because her sister is sick, and along the way, they gotta fight invisible, like, I don't know, other kind of like Middle Earth kind of people to get where they're going. So that was pretty cool. And then Jonah Hill's was so interesting. He had a weird look to him where he had like a ponytail dreadlock. I don't know if they were trying to make him look like I don't know, Native American or something, but he had like grills. He I don't know what they were going for there, but he was funny to look at. And yeah, his father Gabriel Brin plays like this mob boss, and he's undercover with the FBI, and that sequence with the power drill, holy crap! Like that was some Evil Dead, just gory, just blood spattering, whole over the top violence. You know, he put the drill in the guy's neck, just drilled there. I was like, holy shit! Did not see that coming. And then the violence gets worse in episode 8, where his brother just shows up, shoots the fucking FBI agents dead. And he does have that problem where he hallucinates a version of his brother. So he shows up. Then he gets blown the fuck in half with a shotgun, and his body, because there's like a bathtub nearby, half of his body just drops in there. You see the intestines. It's ridiculous. And I like the exploration of those episodes because, you know, they're very symbolic, like I said, to the repressed issues and trauma, psychological trauma they were going through, and they had to leave behind to kind of move forward from that. So, you know, the way it wraps up those 2 episodes is great. You know, like with Jonah Hill, thinking back about that one love interest he had where I guess his family arranged, they paid her to try to, you know, spark up a relationship with him, and he never talked to her ever since. He just kind of like was mad about that idea that he couldn't find love on his own, and, you know, he kind of feel for the guy. Hell yeah, you know, I don't blame him on that forefront, and he always had regret not being able to, you know, say he was sorry. I think he like snapped on her over something. He tried to make it work, and it just didn't work. And it shows also how his life would have been if he would have stayed with her, and they would have had like 7 kids, and he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna jump out this window. I can't, I'm not supposed to be here, you know. And then, you know, while this story is happening with Emma Stone, Jonah Hill, we got like the side story happening with Justin Thorak's character, where he brings in his mother because the supercomputer is having feelings because this lady, the scientist, the Japanese scientist lady, Fujita, she implemented empathy on her, and because of that, it's been growing. So when the other, you know, scientist guy, he croaks, he dies, she becomes depressed. The supercomputer Gerda becomes depressed. So when the mother gets brought in, you know, after, I think it's the end of episode 8, where you're just like white knuckling because you're like, holy shit, this is gonna go into HAL territory from 2001: A Space Odyssey, where the AI becomes self-aware and evil, and, you know, it's kind of cliche, sure, but I really enjoy that part. As we move to like episode 9, which was just batshit crazy. It was crazy because we get into episode 9. What was the name of this episode? Holy crap! Untungata? That's it. Yeah, that episode was nuts. Where we see Jonah Hill having the funniest fucking accent ever. Like he's from like he's Icelandic. He's from Finland, Swedish. Like he explains, and he's like in this UN kind of meeting where all these people are looking at him, and he's explaining he had this little friend, this little alien friend, and how he accidentally killed him because they were celebrating, and he's just like dancing like, yeah. And he knocked over some champagne, so when the alien goes to talk, he grabs a mic and fucking explodes. So you see blue alien blood just go on all of them. It was hilarious, and he's just crying. He's like, Oh my goodness, I cannot stop laughing. Just pure comedic gold. Like, oh man, I love Cary Fukunaga. The way he directs that episode, all these episodes, just God, he's such a good director, and the writers are kudos to you guys for the script writing. What happens from there on, Emma Stone's revealed to be. Remember, this is like this is a fantasy that's playing out in episode 9. She reveals she's a CIA assassin, whatever, and then it just it goes from 1 to 100 so fast. There's a fantastic action sequence down the hall where it just gets so fucking over the top, just so bananas, and she just shooting and just killing guys left and right. Becomes like a fucking raid movie or something. Just amazing the way the camera's following them, and Jonah Hill he's just amused by it. His facial expression is so genuine. He's just like, wow, yowza. You know, you're really good at killing people. Oh my goodness. Like, the way he talks is so funny. So damn funny. They really sold their performances there. And I mean, a fucking minigun gets used at one point. A rocket launcher. It's so damn crazy and fun. I absolutely loved episode 9. One of the best penultimate episodes. Just creative, you know, visual genius by Cary Fukunaga to just keep delivering, you know. Each episode feels so unique in itself. I loved every minute of it, you know. And then yeah, they and then there's a funny scene where Justin Darks goes temporarily blind. You're just like, what the hell? He's just like, I can't say, mother, you blinded me. Like, he gets so furious, yeah, worked up with his argument with his mother, and after Fujita kissed him, it didn't help. He just goes temporarily blind, and you're just like, what? What is going on? They never explain why, but you just kind of just go with the madness of this show, and it's so damn good. You know, they finally get to shut down the computer, but man, I mean, it takes a lot because the computer was basically trying to gas him in, lock him in. They try everything. They try to pull the lever. The emergency override shutdown does not work. It's so crazy, so intense. You know, so basically the computer wants to keep all of them. You know, the computer is just the emotional state of the supercomputer Gerda is just all over the place, just going haywire, and you can see that they're like sweating bricks, just all there. You know, in the dreamlike fantasy state they're in, and basically it's just gonna lobotomize them if they didn't shut it down. That's what I believed anyway. Yeah. So after that, you know, the trial was a failure in their part, but they still like. You know, after they shut down the computer, just Derek is like, "You're healed. You are all healed." And then they leave, and yeah, it's just a wild ride, and I really like the Bond, Emma Stone, Jonah Hill. Their characters shared, you know, because they shared a lot of fantasies together, and they just built that up so well. They had great chemistry. So, and I like the fact that it wasn't more of a like an infatuation, like a relationship. It was more like a friendship, like an understanding, like kindred spirits. You know, these two damaged people finally coming to terms, you know, with what they've been dealing with and overcoming it. So, in a sense, the experience was a success. You know, and yeah, it ends on a bittersweet note. I love. In the final episode that alright guys, like I was saying before my camera cut off, I just love the way they wrapped up the characters of Owen and Annie. It, you know, just brought everything together, and they deserve the happy ending, and I like that, you know, those two kind of deserved each other in a way, and you know, Owen stepping up to his douchey brother during the trial was a great moment for his character, even though his family, you know, did the most slimiest thing. You know, they betrayed him and threw him in the loony bin, and he didn't deserve to be there. So I love the fact that Emma Stone got to talk him out of being there. Her character Annie, and yeah, I love that scene where they get in the truck, they're all laughing, and they just, you know, it's kind of cliche, but honestly, at that point, I welcomed it because I just fell in love with these characters so much. So yeah, it was great. Yeah, fantastic show. like I said, I highly recommend it. Check this one out. It's worth a binge watch. One of the best Netflix shows to have come out in a long time. And Cary Fukunaga, bravo to you, good sir. You did a fantastic job directing all 10 episodes. So I cannot wait to see what he brings to the new James Bond film that's coming out next year. And yeah, overall, 2 big thumbs up. I was thinking 9 out of 10, but you know what? I must be crazy. Screw that noise. It's a 9.5 out of 10. It's near perfect. I have a few nitpicks. You know, the minor characters that were next to Owen and Annie. I would like to see a little bit more screen time on them, which would have been fascinating. Maybe get one episode exploring like their backgrounds and stuff. That would have been cool. And the first and second episode, you know, kind of straddled along, you know, with the pacing. But other than that, it was a fantastic show. And yeah, it was worth the binge watch. So definitely check out Maniac. I highly recommend it. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the show. If you've seen it, what were your favorite moments? What was your favorite fantasy? And what did you think about Emma Stone and Jonah Hill? And by the way, kudos to Jonah Hill, man, for losing weight. Great admiration to you, sir. That's dedication right there. So just wanted to throw that in there. And so if you're finding my channel for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. I would appreciate that. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.